My name is Anna Morgan Smith, and this is my critique of student perception on a student response system formed by combining mobile phone and a polling website. Any educator or student will agree that feedback is paramount to success. Students need timely feedback from their instructors so they know what direction they are headed and can use this feedback to make improvements. Furthermore, feedback helps build a learner's morale and boost his or her confidence in learning. Teachers too need immediate feedback so they are aware of the effectiveness of their lessons. Traditionally, this real-time feedback is gathered through asking questions to a group of students and getting verbal responses. Other traditional forms of gathering feedback include raising hands to poll with a group of students or having students write their responses on paper. Each of these methods has its limitations. Student engagement in lessons is essential to learning but is often hard to achieve. Many studies examining a variety of methods of engagement have been completed in order to determine the most effective way to increase student participation. It has been determined that students' response systems are an effective way to increase student participation as well as give immediate feedback to teachers and students. Adam Wong from the School of Professional Education and Executive Department at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University completed a study surrounding student response systems in order to see if these systems increase student engagement. According to Wong, the purpose of his study was to perform a pilot study at a particular school and then survey student perceptions to provide a reference to teachers at the same school for their decisions to use the system or not. This study took place at the School of Professional Education and Executive Development of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. 44 full-time students who were in either Year 1 or 2 of the Information Technology degree were used in the study. After completing the program, the students would earn their bachelor degree in Information Systems and Web Technology. This study used a polling website and combined it with the mobile phones of the student participants to form a student response system. The researcher used a polling website called Poll Everywhere to accept student responses. Poll Everywhere can accept student responses in a number of channels including SMS text, Twitter, and web. This study only accepted responses through the web, was conducted over a period of 6 weeks, was used in 12 lessons, and recorded 1,155 student answers. The 3 types of questions used in the study were multiple choice, true, false, and open-ended. About 3 questions were asked in each lesson, and the maximum number of questions used in a single lesson was 6. The responses were taken from the Poll Everywhere website and put into Microsoft Excel to analyze. There was no cost to the participants in this study. Students were able to use Wi-Fi offered at the institution and therefore did not have to use the data from their mobile phone plan. After the study, students were asked to fill out an electronic survey about their attitude and satisfaction in regards to using an SRS. The study determined that an SRS is an effective way to increase student participation in lessons and offers real-time feedback for teachers and students. Wong noted that this exploratory study shows that it is feasible to combine student mobile phones and a polling website to create an effective SRS. 85% of participants use their mobile phones to answer questions, 5% their tablets, and 10% a notebook computer. Throughout the study, there were no interruptions in connectivity to the internet, phone reception was excellent, and all forms of technology worked correctly. According to the results of the study, true-false questions had the highest response rate at 68%. Multiple-choice questions followed with 56%. Less than half of the participants responded to the open-ended questions. The open-ended questions posed 2 problems. First, many students did not follow the instructions and they used more words than the question allowed. Second, there were grammatical errors or spelling mistakes present in their answers. 39 of the 44 students in the study took the post-study student survey. Based on the results of the survey, it was determined that students had a positive attitude toward the use of an SRS, liked using the program, and felt that they were more engaged in the lesson because of the SRS. According to the article, the students say the SRS helped them to maintain their attention and made the lessons more interesting. Students also indicated that using the SRS was simple, easy to understand, and that their devices worked well with the program. Because all of the participants had technology skills, they needed no special training in using the SRS. Finally, while students said that they were willing to use an SRS in the future, these 2 questions had the lowest score out of the 10 questions on the student satisfaction survey. The author notes that there are 2 possible reasons for this. The first possible reason is that the students in the study had no previous experience with the SRS. Therefore, they would need more time to be comfortable and natural with using it. Second, the system may not have been as well integrated as it could have been. The study shows that SRS does increase students' engagement and offers real-time feedback to teachers and students. It also suggests that the use of an SRS makes lessons more interesting for students. According to the study, the positive effects of an SRS outweigh the negative. SRS create a more engaging environment where all students feel comfortable sharing their responses because they are anonymous to their peers. This allows the teacher to focus on specific areas of learning and offer individualized instruction. The only negative aspects of SRS are associated with technology and expense. If institutions choose to use traditional clickers versus mobile devices, they must purchase these clickers and the often expensive software programs that accompany them. Furthermore, the use of an SRS means teachers and students would have to have a certain amount of technology training to use the program effectively. They would also need access to a polling website and secure, reliable Wi-Fi if using the mobile SRS method. The author notes this is a limited exploratory study. While this study does present a purpose, it does not offer a clearly defined research question, nor does it test the specific theories. The introduction section of the article offers many references to other studies and reviews of various literature related to the content of the study. However, after this brief introduction, the author sporadically uses other sources in this article to support his arguments and research findings. The article is well written, easy to read, and accessible to all audiences. It is outlined and well organized. There is a limited amount of data, and this data is presented in an easy-to-read and digest manner. The author provides numerous tables and visual representations that help the reader understand the study. For example, the open-ended questions in the study could be recorded as word clouds or clusters. The author includes the sample illustrations of each of these responses. There are a few grammatical errors in the paper, but they do not take away from the meaning or understanding of the material presented. Overall, even though the information in this article is limited, I did find relevance to my classroom and research project. Tablets and Chromebooks could both be used to establish the SRS, so the information in this article could be used as a support to our argument that this technology in classrooms increases students' engagement and achievement. I really liked how the use of an SRS allows for individualized instruction. I think the use of an SRS gives students the opportunity to be honest with their teachers and themselves so there can be a true picture of their progression. As I read this article, I was excited thinking about how I could set up an SRS and use the Chromebooks as my input device. Since each teacher in our school will have his or her own Wi-Fi in the classroom, I believe establishing an SRS using the Chromebooks will be fairly simple. One thing that really stood out to me in this article was the idea of a more engaging classroom. The use of an SRS is just one more tool that I believe will benefit my students, my teaching, and possibly my entire school as we are able to more effectively engage our students through the use of technology.